Hi, guys. Mrs. Sullivan for Thursday, November 19th. So, today, if you started reading and you've got to this part, you notice that it told you you're going to do your warm up at the end today. That is correct. So, today, your objective is to identify facts about the Harappans and recognize what makes them a civilization. Why? To understand how civilizations developed and led to what we have today. So, how you're going to do that? You're going to read the Indus Valley Civilization handout and complete a graphic organizer and then do your warm up. You'll know you've got it when your organizer is complete by having the starred boxes filled in. And you can describe at least one known fact about the Harappans. Now, for your lesson today. So, on here, I have the Indus Valley Civilization handout. If you are currently at school, if you're in my classroom, lucky enough to have a sub today, if you did not pick it up on Monday or Tuesday, it is sitting on the table in my room. If you are in the cafeteria or in some other room because there wasn't a sub today, possibly they pick that up for you and have it for you. If they don't, someone might want to ask them about possibly going and getting that for everybody. But there should be a handout. It looks like this, and it actually at the top is labeled before Thanksgiving. Okay. So before I go over this, there also are handouts and packets for the rest of the virtual learning through January 19th that are, again, on the table in my classroom, or if you're not in the classroom, maybe they pick those up for you. If you didn't get them Monday or Tuesday, you are going to want to make sure you get those before you leave the day for the day. They will make things a lot easier for you when you're home virtually. So one of them looks like this and is labeled before Thanksgiving. There's another one that has a religion table on the front and is labeled after Thanksgiving. And then there is one that says Chinese dynasties, and that's for January. So those would come in handy if you can get to them. If you have questions, let me know. So the Indus Valley Civilization, you are going to read this handout, and either while you're reading it or after you're reading it, you will then complete this graphic organizer. And if you have the handout, it is in that handout for you. So when you're completing the graphic organizer, the big thing is, and it even mentions that in the directions, so you're only going to fill in the boxes that have a star. So if you look at the handout, water source, arts and architecture, writing, cities, government, those have stars. You're going to fill those 5 boxes out. Religion and social classes, no stars. You'll leave those blank. So you're just going to do bullet points. You don't need to put entire sentences, just bullet points. Make it brief, just acting as a source of notes. So while you are reading the handout, water source is basically going to be, where is the civilization located? What is the water source for them? Like a river, for example. Arts and architecture, what do their cities look like? Details about the cities, if there were games, that kind of thing. Writing, write down facts about what they say their writing was like, if they had writing, and so on. Cities basically just need the city names. If you have little facts about them, that's fine, but city names are fine. And then government would be things that you see in the reading that could possibly give you indications that they had a form of government. It may not be specifically come right out and say that this was how their government was, but little hints and bits and pieces of things that tell you that they had a government. So, for example, I'm going to read just kind of the first thing and find one of those facts. So again, looking for the water source, arts and architecture, which means kind of What do those cities look like? What kind of planning was there? So, buildings, that kind of thing. Writing, cities, and government. So, if I go through this first paragraph as an example, the large subcontinent that is India is bordered by a great ancient civilization called the Indus Valley Civilization or Harappan Civilization. It is named after Harappa, one of its two important cities that developed in the Indus River Valley. Like other early civilizations, the river was used for the irrigation of crops. As farming increased, the population increased, and by about 3000 BCE, Neolithic villages were developing into larger cities. The other major city of the Indus Valley was Mohenjo-Daro. Both were large, around 3 miles in circumference, and had populations of around 40,000. Each had huge hilltop structures called a citadel. So, two cities were named in that paragraph, and those are really going to be the only two cities that you have to put in that box. So, go back and what were the names of those two cities? The river also was named, so that answers your water source question. And it talked about a huge hilltop structure called a citadel. And it talks more about that later in the reading. So think about where that might go. So go ahead, read through that. You're going to bullet point facts that meet those 5 characteristics of a civilization. And so each one of those should have at least a couple of them may only have one, but should have a couple, at least 1 to 3 different things in those boxes. Once you go through that, then you will then complete today's warm-up and use the reading to do so. So the warm-up then asks you, what is one thing we do know about the Harappans of the Indus River Valley? Once you have the reading complete, the graphic organizer complete, and the warm-up complete, you are done for today. So if you have any questions, please email me, and I will talk to you later. Miss seeing your guys' faces, and unfortunately, I'm here home with a contact traced kid who can't go to school. So I'm perfectly fine. He's actually perfectly fine. He's just not allowed to be at school this week. So here I am. So again, if you have questions, let me know. And I'm going to start counting those little emails that I got yesterday. And so you should see that pop up. Those of you that did send me an email. So have a good Thursday, and I will talk to you later. Adios.